Okay, we are going to be showing you how to edit a GAF QuickMeasure right from your own account. This function is fairly new, so there might be a little bit of bugs, but it works pretty well in my experience. You can do the edits from an iPad, but you will need a desktop or a laptop in order to update the measurements inside of the project. At any rate, you can pretty much do everything you'll need to do right from your iPad and/or easiest to do it from a computer. So first things first, what we're going to do, we're going to start in the project, and you're going to simply scroll down on this left-hand side. You're going to go to Tools. You're going to open the Tools, and you're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see a Visualizations section with QuickMeasure right here as well. So we're going to click on the QuickMeasure. The very next step is it's going to open up a new tab, and it's going to have the property profile for that house. So let's assume this house had a metal awning or metal porch or something, and so I'm just going to click and spin this around. This is kind of like the model of what they've drawn on this house. So for this particular example, what we're going to do is we're going to assume that this section right here, and then as I spin it around, let's say this like bay window, if you will, let's assume those three sections are metal and we're not going to be replacing it. Just as a side note, you can click on pitches. It'll diagram your pitches. In this particular case, it's calling these a flat roof. You can also assume they're a flat roof and you're not doing the flat roof because they don't tie in or something along those lines. But you can also go to areas and quickly view your areas. And if you hit design, it'll give you a representation of the house with everything on there. And then you can obviously change your shingles over here. You can throw some cams on there if you wanted to. You can change the house walls and make the house brick or something along those lines if you really wanted to see what the thing will look like. But at any rate, what we're going to do is, for the purpose of this video, delete some sections so that way we get a more updated sketch and we can quickly quote this thing. So we're going to go back to lengths on the right-hand side. We're going to click down here on Edit, and then we're going to hide facets. That's all we're going to do. So we're going to scroll around. We're going to put our cursor over that section because that was either a low slope or a metal that we're not going to do. We're going to put it over here as well. And then let's just be safe and let's delete all three of those too. So now we're just left with the up and over section on the house. No big deal. I'm going to click back. If you needed to adjust a measurement, let's say you actually took a tape measure out and measured this ridge and you said it's not 111, it's 120. You click on it and then you can adjust that right here. And then it will adjust the rest of the measurements accordingly. In this particular case, all we needed to do was delete a couple facets. That's all. So once we've got those deleted, we're simply going to click Generate Report. And that's going to take a second to think. And once it's done, it's going to give us three options. The three options are going to be a PDF file, which we will want to download to the computer and upload into the documents on our project. The second file is going to be an XML file, and that's the one that's going to update our measurements tab inside of the project. The third one is a DAF file, I believe, and we don't need that file. DXF, apologies. So we're going to open the PDF. It's going to give us a new tab, and this is going to be our new PDF report that does not contain those facets. So as we scroll around, clearly we can see it deleted those facets. As my computer loads, we can see those facets on the actual images generated by the satellite imagery. But for the purpose of the sketch, it's taken those off. So simply you would just download this to your computer, download it to your iPad, put it in your downloads, however you want to do, and just call it maybe new sketch, something like that. And we'll close that tab. The next thing is the XML file. And this is why you need to do it from a computer, because when I open this up, it's going to look like Chinese. It's going to look like a bunch of different numbers and items. But I don't care about that. I just simply need to right click and save as. And I'm not even going to rename it. I'm just going to simply save it into my downloads. That's all. Now I'm going to close that out. I'm going to go back to my project. I'm going to scroll up to my measurements. And then I'm going to import that XML file. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to upload a new file. And as I go back to my documents, I've got that XML saved. I'm simply going to click upload, and you'll notice all of these numbers change. in just a moment. So it's going to say success, you've done it. And now we've got new numbers everywhere in this report. The next thing we would want to do is go into our documents and obviously upload that new quick measure sketch. So I'm simply going to upload that in there as well. And at this point, we're essentially done. I could go back into my estimate, and if, let's say, I hadn't done an estimate, hopefully you hadn't done an estimate with the wrong measurements, but at this rate, I could simply add my package and go from there, or add my template and go from there, whatever you need to do. But like I said before, you're going to start from the customer page. On the info is usually where that lands you, and then you're going to scroll down, click to tools, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you'll see this visualizations. Now, let's assume in this particular case, just for the sake of instruction, that we deleted those. In this case, they were a flat roof section, and then the homeowner, property owner later decides, no, you know what, I actually would like to do those. You simply open up the quick measure, you come back to the lengths, edit, hide facets, and it will say, hey, you've already hidden some facets. You just simply click reset, and it's going to put those back. I now need to generate new reports and upload those back into the project, so that way it knows, hey, I've got the most current measurements. It's got the facets back on there. If all you're doing is adding back on those facets that were already hidden, when they drew the property, they drew it with those on there. So they've uploaded the XML from the original order. I could just simply download this and then re-upload it. That's another way you can do that. But hopefully this video has been helpful. If you've got any questions, feel free to shoot me an email. My email I'll put on screen is bkaplan@fieselinc.com. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon.